Landry and Prentice. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your names. Your names? They're fictional. Hi Jellies. Today I have four new books that I purchased recently and I want to tell you why I like them. First of all, let me give you some context. Recently, I learned that in Bangalore they have this huge 10 feet or 100 feet tall Christmas trees. I'm really not sure of the measurements, but I started seeing them all around my friends' profile pictures and everywhere on Instagram. So I really wanted to go there. So I booked a ride and went there, and I asked a couple of my friends also to meet me there so that we can just have a hangout session. I reached there way too early, and then I thought, why to simply waste time by sitting and waiting for them? Let me just go explore the mall. So I went inside and I stumbled across Crossword and I made an entire reel about it. You guys can go check out in my Instagram. But basically, I picked out four books and those four books were so damn interesting. And I want to tell you guys about it. Okay, let me first finish the story though. So, what happened was my friends went to another mall where there was also another big Christmas tree, and they just assumed I was also gonna be there. So, for about 1.5 hours, we did not even realize that we were in two different malls. We were literally on calls like, "Hey Jay, where are you?" And I was like, "Hi, I'm literally on second floor, Crossword. Like, where are you guys?" And they're like, "We are also in second floor. We can't find you." And then we had this back and forth of like, "Can you meet me at the Lifestyle? Can you meet me at Max?" And then finally we realized that okay, I don't think that we are in the same mall. Anyways, that aside, we had a blast. Later I went over to that mall and it was really good. Anyways, so let's start with the four books that I bought. The first book we have here is The Trunk. In this book, we see Inji, who is a 30-year-old woman who has been in five marriages but has never found true love. She starts working in a company called Wedding and Life. And this is a matchmaking company that secretly rents out field husbands and wives to rich clients on a temporary basis. So it's more of like a role pretense or something of that sort. So people can rent other people to come to their houses or to perform basically as a couple or whatever it could be. So Inji is also rented by a wealthy music producer who also happens to be one of her ex-husbands. So as she navigates this new role for herself and her relationship with this man and all of her other surroundings, she stumbles upon the dark mysteries of this company. And this entire book is about her figuring out the mysteries about this company and its management, and the management going to any lengths to save their reputation. Then we have Acts of God by Kanan Gill. Kanan Gill is one of my favorite comedian, and he apparently writes books also. So we have this book which is set in a post-nuclear world where we don't have any borders. So in this book we see a creator called Dr. Krishna, who is a self-proclaimed scientist, and he has a liberty to make universes. I am not entirely sure. So then we also have Detective Manjunath, who isn't as bright of a person. So now Detective Manjunath and Dr. Krishna are pitted against each other, and the book deals with a lot of philosophical questions in a humorous way, in a satirical way, because I have read a first couple of pages and it was filled with sarcasm. So let me read you the lines that caught my eye. Now, as a cat and mouse game ensures between creator and created, the genius scientist is limited by the precarious nature of existence, while Manjunath is unlimited by his stupidity. If God plays dice with the universe, how does he handle losing? It's so interesting. For the next book, I would like to give a little trigger warning. There is SH involved and attempt to unaliving self. So read it at your own will. The book is called Veronica Decides to Die by Paulo Coelho. In this book, we meet Veronica, who is successful in all the stereotypical standards set by society. For example, she has a really fulfilling job, she has a lovely family, and she has a loving boyfriend, and she has beauty and youth. And yet, one night she decides to down a bottle of pills. She decides to die. But unfortunately for her, she wakes up in a mental hospital. where she is told that she only has a couple of days to live. This book talks about a lot of things, and one of the things is about the people who do not fit into the patterns set by society. I really like the concept of this book because it not just talks about conventional, stereotypical success definition set by society, but also what success would mean to individual people, right? And I would again like to read a couple of lines from the blurb that I really thought were interesting. It is a dazzling portrait of a young woman at the crossroads of despair and liberation, and a poetic, exuberant appreciation of every day as a renewed opportunity. This says a lot about our society, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun reading this book. The fourth book was longlisted for 2021 Booker Prize, and it is being marketed as a Barack Obama summer read and an Oprah's book club pick. I would love to read this book. It's called The Sweetness of Water, and this book is a historical fiction set during the time of American Civil War. We meet two brothers, Landry and Prentice. So these both are forced into slavery, but they somehow escape. But they don't have a penny to their names. So the only chance of survival that they have is to find a job in a society that views them with nothing but intolerance. Then we also meet a couple, Farmer George and his wife Isabel, who are shaken because of a very big loss. By a chance encounter, they decide to employ the two brothers in their farm. They slowly start forming a bond and a friendship, but of course, what's a book without a tragedy? All the people from the nearby town start growing suspicious of their friendship, and it does not end well. And the exact words used on the blurb of this book is devastating consequences. I cannot wait to start this book. And I really think this book is going to be one of my first reads in January. We'll see. So that's it for today, guys. If you have read these four books or if you would like to recommend me similar books, please let me know in the comments and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.